Good morning. Just waiting for my ride right now. Should be here any second. Heading up to the visitor center. Gonna get started. All right, guys. I am on the approach trail. Actually recording on my phone right now. Mighty rainy day. I've mostly got my umbrella setup sorted. So steep. Mostly got it sorted. With it sorted, I could probably keep the GoPro like on this chest strap here and keep it relatively dry. If it gets too wet, I'll just record on my phone. So some of my videos, the audio quality might be all over the place. Sorry. A good burst of wind right under the umbrella. Here's my umbrella folded in on itself. Gonna fix that in a second. I think when I'm actually in the woods proper, that's not gonna be a big deal. Kind of funny though. Alright, I got most of my umbrella issues sorted out. A little bit of learning curve. Good solid gust of wind will make that thing fold right up. Fortunately, it's designed for that, so it will fold up on itself without breaking. Foggy. It's really beautiful here. I'm really digging all these little roadies. I'm just walking under a corridor of them. Really is all you can see right now. These things must be really something special when they're in bloom. Which, given how warm and rainy it's been, probably won't be too late this year. The umbrella on top of my head does have its drawbacks though. It makes me a little bit taller, so I gotta duck under stuff like this right here. See how it goes. Mission accomplished. Despite the rain, it's pretty nice out. Coming from Boston, I've been hiking in cold temperatures. It's probably, I don't know, at least 60 degrees, maybe even close to 65 right now. Yeah, maybe 60. But hiking this approach trail, there are some pretty vertical sections, and get the blood pumping. I feel good. To that end, I have taken off my rain shell and certainly my insulation layer. I was starting to sweat pretty heavily under the rain shell. It's warm right now, so the umbrellas provide me pretty good coverage. My shirt is getting a little wet, but it's just from mist in the sides and a little runoff. It's good. At least it gives it a chance to sort of dry and evaporate my body heat. It's working out pretty well. I apologize for the shaky camera. I'm just using my phone right now, not even just like, holding it. Probably gonna wait until tomorrow to break out the GoPro, which stabilizes things a little better. Anyway, I do have my rain skirt on right now. Still get that going. There it is. pretty shitty shot, but you get it. But that's keeping my shorts dry, allowing me to breathe. Well, I've been at it for about 2 hours now, making decent progress, going really slow. In my opinion, I'm doing everything right. I've already had a couple of nice conversations with people. I've already ran into about 5 or 6 through hikers on the approach trail here. I'm leaving somewhat later in the day compared to a lot of folks, so there's a fair amount of people ahead of me. They'll be at the shelter. I'm actually right at a campsite right now. Sure somebody will stay there tonight. Not me. I'm moving forward. It's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon here. And the trip up the south side of Springer Mountain is looking a little spooky. Everything's foggy in Georgia. Taking a short break here at a campsite. Anybody who knows me in real life knows how much I thirst for Red Bull, so I packed one out for the approach trail. About to enjoy it. Really foggy. Rain stopped. It's just dripping off the trees. The condensation's just building up on branches and dripping down. So there's a little road up here. A clearing I'm standing in. Road goes off that way too. Apparently there was a plane crash here decades ago. There's a little memorial plaque put here by his family after they removed the plane wreckage. Actually, the crash was in 1968, and they recovered it in 1996. A little bit of AT history there. Right now I'm just moving on up the trail. Just came across my first large group of through hikers at a campsite looking to settle down for the evening. Gave them a good shout out. Seemed like a nice bunch. This is really too cool. Everything's foggy. The air is damp. It's only about 3:30 right now. You can tell the sun just wants to burn through it, but it just can't. Not with this much moisture in the air. I feel good. I'm still wearing my rain kilt, mostly because I don't feel like stashing it away. But other than that, I just got my base layer on, and it is just so comfortable. It's like a nice spring day for me. Loving it. Coming up on the junction of the little trail that brings you up to the hike in. Place about 5 or 6 miles out in the woods where you can hike into and stay. Rustic experience. I've heard pretty good things about it. But not for my trip. I'm moving on to Springer. Alright, we're at mile 6.6 or so, and there is a little watering hole down the hill here. And I'm just about dry, so let's go get some water. So here is our water source. First major one I come across. A little spring coming right out of the ground, about 20 feet or so below the trail. And this is where I filled up right here. Without touching any rocks or anything, just that little spout of water coming down. Put it into my dirty water back. And just using the gravity filter set up right now. This will work pretty quick. Hang it from the tree, filtering on down, and right into the bag. Gonna take a break right now, 10-15 minutes or so, however long this takes. Go over some of my gear, do a little bit of stretching, have a snack. Doing good. Alright, fresh from my water break here. I've just stowed my GoPro away. I figured I'd show you guys what it looks like, my loadout. You know, it looks like this thing's really big, but it's doable, especially if I bring this guy back a little bit. Get the thing lashed right there just for storage. It's easy to grab when I need to real quick. And I got my water bottle here. It's a good setup. It doesn't obstruct my vision at all unless it's a steep downhill. I don't know. People are gonna be looking at me a little crazy with the big giant external microphone, but whatever. Maybe my trail name will be Film Crew. Moving on. We're approaching the summit of Springer Mountain, and this notice is here, discouraging camping from the summit itself due to environmental impact and history of bear incidents. There's a shelter right beyond that with water and bear cables and all that good stuff, as well as tent area. It's still early. I'm going to go check out the shelter, but I may push on for an extra mile beyond that. We'll see. Alright, and here it is, guys. This is something I've been waiting a very long time for. I'm at the official start of the Appalachian Trail in Georgia. Right in front of me is my first white blaze, along with the Appalachian Trail Georgia to Maine plaque in the ground. There it is, the first of thousands of white blazes. I'm really pumped to be here. I've been dreaming of this day for quite a few years now. Springer Mountain, the summit, the southern terminus of the Appalachian Trail. 2,190 miles all the way up to Mount Katahdin in Maine. There's supposed to be a little trail register in there I'm going to sign. I'm going to take a few pictures and then I'm going to move on to the shelter. Today's a good day. Alright, so let me show you my camp spot for the night. I'm camping in the tent site by Springer Mountain Shelter. Look right there. I'm pretty sure that's my campsite. Not really sure. Anyway, get the privy right there. That'll be really useful in the morning. And I'll take you for a walk. Campsites. The actual shelter is down towards the right. Let's skip that for right now. I'll go visit later. There's a bear box right there, so I don't need to bother hanging my food tonight. I can just pop my food bag right in there. I am off this little corridor here, around the bend, into some nice trees. And I've already got my pack here. And what I have is a nice hammock spot. I'm going to set up from this tree right here and string it right up to this tree. Should be a good comfy spot. It's a nice flat area for me to hang out on, set my gear. This is my spot for the first night on the AT. Let me get set up. I'm probably going to do a time-lapse video to show you how all my gear breaks down and sets up and all that good stuff. pretty much the basic setup for now. The hammock's up, the tarp's up. I gotta dig the under quilts out of my bag. I'll video that too. But right now, got the hammock up, the tarp up, pretty straight, pretty tight. I'm leaving this end open here for a little bit of ventilation for the time being. Probably roll that down at some point. This end over here, yeah, this is good. This end over here I've got completely buttoned up. The little storm flies. The wind seemed to be blowing in that end, so I figured I'd keep it dry. Get right in there. That's nice and warm and cozy in here. Pretty happy with it. Took me a little bit longer than usual. It's been quite some time since I've actually set up my hammock, and I've got some new pieces of hardware here on the stakes. I really like them. It just took a little getting used to. I'm sure I'll get quicker and quicker over the next couple of days. Big fan. Having a good time here. I'm gonna work on getting all comfy.